these assignments. Let's do it together. So let's first get to the point that you did it. The point here. So let's say we can have I think this is where we stopped. This is where you stopped on the solution you provided.
Yeah, this is where I stopped.
Okay. So what we want to do is that whether the username is correct or not, you want to ask the user that do you want to compare another values, and let's assume the user selected yes, then you want to run all of these codes, and if the user should select no, you don't want to. So what you can do is this: you can say choice, user choice. Let's call it choice. Or better still, so you're going to ask this user this question. Oh, my bad. So whatever the user enters becomes the value of yes. But what you are doing here is that you want the user to just type either 1 or 2. Should the user type 1, then the value of choice will be 1. Should the user type 2, the value of choice will be 2. You can now say if choice is equal to 1, then we run all of these codes. Yeah, are you getting it?
Yes, I'm following now.
Okay, now, but remember, whatever you get using an input is a string.
Yes.
So we can do it this way. So the next problem is how do we run all of these things? Yeah. What we can do is that we can create a function. Def, we can call it login. Then we put all of these codes inside that function. So all of these things now, they are inside this function. So let's assume the user selected 1. We want to call on function login. Then when you call on function login, it will run all of these codes again. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So let's assume the user selected no, else. You may not even put else, it will terminate itself. Or you can put, maybe you want to display something, print, bye, see you again. Hope to see you again. And that's it. So let's run it and see if everything is working fine. Oh, now, one more thing. We are here to call on this function. So let's first call on that so that it can go into this function.
Outside.
Yes, outside. Enter your username. Enter your password. Enter your username. Enter your password. Incorrect login details. Do you want to compare another values? Yes. So enter your username. Enter your password. You enter your username. You enter your password. Successful. Do you want to compare another value again? So if I select no, pass to see you again. Any question?
No question.
Okay. So let's go to today's work. Today we want to look at parameterized function. Parameterized function. So let's see what it means and how it works. So let's delete all of this and focus on that. Let's say I have a function. What this function does is that, let's say, let's call it so we can say, have we done concatenation? Hello?
Yeah, hello. I said, oh, sorry. I said no. There is just the concatenation of JavaScript right now.
Okay. Let's look at concatenation before we look at this, because we will need it here. It's similar to JavaScript. In fact, it's almost the same. The syntax even is the same in some sense. So let's look at it together. Let's say you have a variable. And I want to say my name is this variable name. Then I can say in JavaScript we use plus for concatenation, right?
Yes.
It's the same thing here. The same thing here. So you can say my name is this name. Let's save it and run it on there. My name is Tayo. Then another way you can concatenate here is that you can say name times 3. That's going to print Taye. It's going to print Taye 3 times. Now, unlike JavaScript, where you can concatenate a string with a number, You can't do the same here. Let's assume this is plus. This will throw back an error. Except if this is a string itself. Then this will give Taye 3. Any questions so far?
No question.
Okay. Then, another way you can concatenate here is to use the format function or format method. You can say this is, well, okay, it's a bit similar to template literal in JavaScript. You see these curly braces. When Python sees this, it knows that a variable should be there. So just leave it like that. You now say dot format. Whatever variable you want to put there now, you can put it here. So this is going to give you, if you look for these curly braces and insert this, the value of name there. So this is going to give you my name is Taye. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
But what about in cases where we want to do it like, let's say you want to concatenate a name and a surname, is it going to do it respectively, like the first one,
Exactly.
first format, or okay.
Exactly. So my name is, I want my first name followed by my last name. So I just come here, first name, then put another comment.
Okay.
Then another way you can concatenate is this. You can say in this case, use this. Now say you are formatting it. Name is first name, last name. You can do it like this too. Any question?
No question. That F is for format, right?
Yes, instead of coming here and say dot format at the end here, you can just put it right here. So these are common ways to concatenate here. So let's now go back to parameterized function. Let's say great Taye. So you can do something like this. There is the name. You can now say print my name is name. So this is going to give my name is Taye. Oh, I had to call on the function. Sorry, my bad. My name is Taye. Let's say we have another function, and what that does is, let's say this great Kenny. So when I call on great Kenny like this, so this will give you my name is Kenny, right? Are you there?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. So this is going to give you my name is Kenny. If I want to have another name, I need to put another function underneath like that. And now you will agree with me that the code inside this first function is similar to the code inside this second function. The only difference is just the value of name. So when you have two functions or two or more functions that are similar like that, you can use parameterized function to handle it. A parameterized function is like a super function. So instead of creating multiple functions, you can create a super function to do the work of those parameterized functions, to do the work of those separate functions. Any question?
No question.
Okay. So also, remember the programming principle, DRY, which stands for don't repeat yourself. So when you have separate functions like this, you are repeating yourself, especially when they have similar codes. So let's now see how we can create a single function to handle it. So we can create a function called greetPerson. So this function will receive an argument like this, point. Let's see how this works. Whenever we call on this function greetPerson, we must pass something to this name. We pass a value to this name. Right? This is a parameter, so we pass an argument to it. Let's say we call on greetPerson. Whatever we put, let's say we put 9 here, the value of this name will be 9. If I call on greetPerson and I put Peter here, this Peter becomes the value of name, and this is going to print my name is Peter. So for the first one, it will print my name is 9. For the second one, it will print my name is Peter. Any question?
No question.
Okay. So this here becomes be sent to this place. It will run this code. When it gets here, this here will be sent as the value of this, and it will run this code. So that now makes it easy for me to do something like this. My name is Taye, my name is Kani. And it becomes easy to handle because if I want to add another person, all I just need to do is to call on that same function and pass another name to this place. Ido becomes the value of name, and it will print my name is Ido. So this is how it works. Taye, Kenny, Ido. And you can pass more than one parameter. You can pass age here. You can now say I am age years old, such that let's say this is 10, let's say this is 20, and let's say this is 30. So for the first one, Taye becomes the value of name, 10 becomes the value of age. It's going to print my name is Taye, I am 10 years old. For the second one, Kenny becomes the value of name, 20 becomes the value of age. It will print my name is Kenny, I am 20 years old. For the third one, Ido becomes the value of age, and Ido becomes the value of name, and 30 becomes the value of age. So it's going to print my name is Ido, I am 30 years old. Question before we round it off.
No question.
So that means the first year goes to the first year, the second year goes to the second year, and on and on like that. Good. Okay. Then let's look at global and local variables. Global and local variables in Python. So let's get a function. So this is going to give hello Taye. Let's now say there's a variable here. If I run this code, if I run this code, my func, if I call on my func now, if I call on my func, it prints hello Taye, not hello Kenny. Now there's a variable here called name is Kenny, and there's another variable here called name is Taye. But because you are calling on this within this function, it will use the one within the function instead. So that's on that. Hello Taye. Let's move on. Now if this is not there, it will use the one outside the function. Hello Kenny. So because there is one within the function, it will use the one within the function. But if there is no one within the function, it will use the one outside the function. Now, that's what I just explained might cause a little issue. The problem is this. Let's say second func. Oops. The issue is this. If I call on second func, you will agree with me that you run this code, right?
Yes.
So it will set the value of name to Peter. How when I call on my func, I want it to now say hello Peter. Do you understand it?
Yes.
So I come again. When I call on this maybe we expect that this should change the value of name to Peter. Then when I now call on this, I want it to display hello Peter. But it's not going to work. It's not going to work like that. It's not. Reason is this. This variable is just a local variable to this function, and it can only be used within this function. In fact, this variable is totally different from this variable. They only bear the same name, but they are different. This is different and from this. So when you call on this my func, it cannot access this variable because a local variable, a variable local to a function, cannot be used outside that function. So this function my func does not have access to or does not know anything that happens here. It is blind to it. So when you say hello name, because there is no variable name inside this function, instead it will make use of this global one. Do you understand it?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Now, but maybe I want this to now give me hello Peter, not hello Kenny. Meanwhile, this is just within this function. So what I'm going to do is that we can now say this name, I want it to be the same as this name. That is, this variable should be the same as this variable. So that when we call on this and we change the value of that container, remember at the first class or second class, I explained that a variable is a container where you store items. So that when I change the value, the content of that container here, and I come here to say this print name, it will give me hello Peter because it's still the same container. Let's go over it again. This is a container. This is another container. They are two different containers presently, and that's why whatever happens to this container does not affect this, and whatever happens to this does not affect this. And this container here is only visible within this function, not outside the function. So when you call on this second func, yes, the value of this container will be Peter, but it is just this container. And when you call on my func, it will run this code. Then it's going to say hello name, and because this function cannot access this, instead it will make use of this, and it will display hello Kenny. So what we want to do now is that we want to say we don't want you to we want this container to be the same as this container, so that when we say hello name, it will be whatever is inside that container at that moment. So to do that, you just come here and say global, use the keyword global name. What you are saying is that whenever I use the word global inside this function, this global name, like whenever I use the word name, sorry, whenever I use the word name inside this function, I'm referring to the global variable, which is this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So name equals Peter. Name equals Peter. So whenever I call on this function, it will change the content of this container from Kenny to Peter. The same container. It will change the content of it to Peter. Then when I call on my func, it will now say hello name. Since the content has changed to Peter, that's going to now give us hello Peter. So that was the concept of local and global variable. Local.
I want to understand something. Okay, so that's because the functions we called down there, we called the second function first. If my func was above, it would still run it normally, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
If it's supposed to be like
Okay,
this,
because it has okay.
it's the first one, this, which is hello Kenny.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
this will now change it to Peter. Let's do it this way.
Yeah.
So this will give us hello Kenny. This will change it to Peter, and this will give us hello Peter.
Okay.
So that is global variable in Python programming. Now assignment. What I need you to do for me is this. When a user gets, of course, when the user comes, you will tell the user, welcome, you give the user, then you tell the user what do you want to do. The user will select maybe 1 for addition, 2 for multiplication, 3 for division, 4 for subtraction. So whichever the user choose among all of this, if the user, let's assume the user chose addition, you tell the user enter the first number, the user will enter the first number, enter the second number, the user will enter the second number, then you display the result, that is the addition of the two numbers. So you tell the user, do you want to perform another operation? So let's assume the user chose 1 for yes, 2 for no. So let's assume the user chose 1. You tell the user again, 1 for addition, 2 for subtraction, 3 for multiplication, 4 for division. Let's assume this time around the user chose multiplication. You tell the user enter the first number, the user will enter the first number, enter the second number, the user will enter the second number. Then you display the result of multiplication of the two numbers. After displaying the results, you tell the user, do you want to perform another operation? 1 for yes, 2 for no. So let's assume the user chose no. They just say, oh, thank you, bye bye. Do you understand the task?
Yes, I get it.
Alright, okay. Thank you for coming.